Today I'm at the Seoul World Cup Stadium to watch Korea versus Ghana. And I'm here with my son Juno, and we're gonna talk about sports, culture, and identity. Let's go. So when I was a kid, growing up in the United States, whenever someone asked me if Korea and America would play in the World Cup, who would I root for? Now back then as a kid, I would say, of course, I'd root for America, because America's the greatest country in the world. I don't know if I say that anymore. First sporting game I've ever been to, this was when I was a kid in Tennessee, and I went to an Atlanta Braves baseball game.
I was about 7 years old when I was invited to Fulton County Stadium with my friend Randy and his church group to go see the Atlanta Braves.
Now the best memory I have at a sporting event was at the University of Oregon, watching the Oregon Ducks.
When I first got to Oregon in 1994, the Ducks weren't exactly known as a powerhouse football school. I went to my very first Ducks game that fall against the Utah Utes, and honestly I didn't expect much, but the atmosphere was incredible, and I had such a fun time. That year, Oregon won the Pac-10 title and made it all the way to the Rose Bowl game.
And then of course also at the Kingdom, I watched the Seattle Seahawks play football there as well.
In 1996, when I arrived in Seattle, I used to love to go to the old Kingdom before they blew it up. I used to love watching the Seattle Seahawks play football there. But I also go to the Kingdom to watch the Seattle Mariners, and back then, everyone was a fan of Ken Griffey Jr. And then over at the old Key Arena, I used to love going to Sonics games and watching Gary Payton do his thing, and also Sean Kemp flying through the air and throwing down a monster dunk. Sports has always been one of the clearest mirrors of national identity. During the time of an international match, something powerful happens. People who might disagree about almost everything suddenly cheer with one voice. In Korea, you see it instantly. The colors, the chants, the energy. Sports is one of the very few things that can bring a divided society together as one. And in those moments, you're reminded that national identity isn't just personal or political, it's shared. It's something we feel together.
Juno, who do you want to win the World Cup?
Team.
What team is that?
Team.
Korea?
Yes.
Yes? Korea?
Yes.
Who's your favorite player? Okay, I'm not gonna get any decent answers from him.
When I was a kid growing up in the US, someone once asked me who'd I cheer for if USA played Korea in the World Cup. And without even thinking, I said, USA. Looking back, that wasn't just about soccer, it was about identity. Sports played a huge role in shaping me. All my heroes were American athletes, NFL stars, NBA legends, even Team USA track and field runners at the Olympics. That was the world I wanted to belong to. I still remember my grandma visiting from Korea, watching TV with me, and seeing Hulk Hogan beat up a Korean wrestler. She was horrified, but I just cheered for the Hulkster because in my young mind, USA winning meant my side was winning. I don't think like that anymore. And now I wonder, if you ask Korean kids growing up overseas today, kids in Canada, Germany, Australia, Brazil, who would they cheer for? Their passport country, their parents' country, or something in between?
Juno, how do you feel being at your first soccer match?
Good.
Are you excited?
Yes. Well.
But of all the sporting events in my lifetime, the greatest one that I can never forget is the 2002 World Cup. What a time that was.
The 2002 World Cup in Korea was unlike anything I've ever experienced. For an entire month, the whole country turned into one giant street party. Public viewings were everywhere, parks, plazas, beaches, but the most famous was at Seoul City Hall Square, where more than 300,000 people would gather in a sea of red. And the amazing thing was, it wasn't just Koreans. Foreigners joined right in. It felt like the whole world came together in one place for one moment. Korea's run that year was unbelievable. They escaped the group stage by defeating Portugal, a Portugal that had a very young Cristiano Ronaldo. Then they shocked Spain in the round of 16, winning in penalty kicks. And of course, the most iconic match, Italy. Seol rescuing Korea with a last-minute goal near the end of regulation, and then An Jung-hwan's golden goal, the one that topped the mighty Azzurri and sent the entire nation into euphoria. But for me, the most memorable match wasn't any of those. It was the one most people forget. Korea versus the United States. It ended in a simple 1-1 draw. Nothing legendary about the scoreline, but something happened inside me that day. I had always secretly cheered for the USA. It was the country I grew up in, the identity I clung to, the team I felt represented me. So as I watched the match with my Korean colleagues at work, I assumed I'd root for America. But then the game started, and without realizing it, I found myself cheering for Korea. Not politely, not quietly, but sincerely, from the heart. Korea didn't win that day, but in me something did. In that moment, I realized Korea was my team, my people, and I finally accepted that I was Korean, truly Korean. It was a match most of the world forgot, but it changed everything for me. There are very few things in the world that can unite an entire nation the way sports can. During an international match, something powerful happens. Politics disappear, disagreements fade, generations blend together, and people who may have nothing in common suddenly chant with one voice. National sports have a way of reminding a country of who they are and what they can be. It's a moment when pride rises, not just because of the team's performance, but because for those few hours, we get to experience what true unity feels like. It's easy to forget now, but for years, Korea was the underdog, the team no one expected much from. But over the past few decades, Korea has risen to become a true power in global sports. And in Korea, sports heroes are often held in even higher regard than actors or singers. If you win an Olympic gold medal, you're instantly a national treasure, and for some young men, it even means exemption from the military. Not even BTS could get that. For many Koreans, this rise in sports dominance mirrors Korea's rise in the world, from being overlooked to standing confidently on the global stage. It's a source of deep national pride. Sports may not be everything, but when it comes to the pride of the Korean nation, it still means a lot.
Hello, I'm Juno. Welcome back to my channel. Subscribe and like.